All right, we have Brandon Moreno on the show coming off his unanimous decision victory over Jussier Formiga on Saturday at UFC Brasilia. Great to have the assassin baby here for the first time.
Yeah.
Brandon, how are you, man?
Man, I'm very grateful to stay here. Yes, sir.
Great to have you here. Congratulations on the win. What a crazy week it must have been for you, capped off with the big win on Saturday. How does it all feel a little over 72 hours later?
Man, at first was very stressful with all this stuff with the coronavirus. But in the moment when the guy closed the door of the Octagon, I was really focusing for Miga. The fight was crazy, was a tough matchup, but I have the victory right now, and I think is the most important.
What was it like making the walk to the Octagon under those circumstances with no fans? You know, the music's blasting like there's 20,000 people in there, but then you walk out and you look around and there's nobody there. So what was that like for you? Was it a little strange?
It was a little bit strange, a little bit weird at first. But I remember when I was in the Ultimate Fighter in the season 24, was very similar, the moment. And again, in the moment when I went to the cage, to the Octagon, my mind was clear, focusing in Formiga, very relaxed, and just saw it that night. No, the fight was awesome.
Throughout the week, and you touched on it with the coronavirus, you know, we were seeing in every major sport from the NBA, Major League Baseball, professional soccer, even Bellator the night before, they canceled their event altogether. You're a guy, you know, you've been training hard, you travel all the way to Brazil, you're cutting weight, and you're preparing to fight a very dangerous guy. How stressful was the week for you overall with everything going on in the world and not knowing whether or not you're even going to fight?
Man, I was really scared. You know, it was a really stressful moment. Almost the Brazilian government canceled the event. So, you know, all the fight camp, the cutting weight, all the media stuff was canceled. So I was scared because I do all the work. The most hard part of this moment is the training camp. And when you have if Dana White trying to cancel the event in 5 weeks, you know, you don't have the money, you don't have the fight, the victory. But I think I'm lucky. I'm lucky I have the last fight because the next events are canceled right now. So I'm lucky.
I have to ask, how was that fight between you and Formiga not the fight of the night? Like, I'm not trying to take anything away from Morose and Silva because they had a great fight too, but everybody was buzzing, you know, after your fight with Jussier. I mean, the stand-up, the scrambles on the ground, it was like watching two real-life action figures competing. I mean, it was just amazing to watch. Were you shocked that you didn't get fight of the night?
I mean, I don't know. I understand. I understand because I think Marina Moros against was the other girl. I don't remember. Sorry, but it was a nice fight. No, entertaining fight. A lot of exchange, a lot of punches in the face. For Miga and me, I think was a more tactical and technical fight. You know, like the scrambles, my exchange of punches, my counters was really good. So. Yeah, you know, 50 Gs, extra 50 Gs never are a bad idea in your bank account. But it's fine. I have the victory. I think is the most important.
Well said. Did anything surprise you at all in the fight? Did Jussier do something within those 15 minutes that threw you off or surprised you at all?
I mean, it was a hard matchup. Formiga is amazing. He's really good. I don't want to be unrespectful. Never. But to be honest, I imagine a more hard fight, you know, like Formiga. I was trying to get the takedown, put pressure, and me try to get up always in every single minute of the round. But you know, I don't know what happened, but this new Brandon Moreno. After the release of the company, is amazing. This Brandon Moreno can do extraordinary things.
What do you think's changed the most in this new Brandon Moreno? What do you think the biggest change has been for you?
The first one is my I think was my stand-up. My striking is so much better right now. I'm starting to work with Drift Cortez. He's a boxing coach here in Tijuana. He worked before with a lot of really good Mexican boxers, but he understands the rhythm of the boxing for MMA. You know, the boxing for the just boxing and boxing for MMA is so different. But my coach Drift understand the rhythm, the boxing for MMA, and I evolved in my skills too much. And the second one is my mind, my mentality. Brandon Moreno don't go to fight, never. It's the other guy. The other guy is crazy. The other guy can do a lot of crazy stuff. And me, I'm humble. I'm really humble. I'm so happy always. I try to be a nice person to the crowd, to the people. But the other guy who fought last Saturday, that guy, he's crazy.
When did that other guy first appear? I mean, Brandon Moreno, the humble guy, was still a very, very talented guy, but apparently there's this other guy that everybody needs to watch out for. When did he start to appear for the first time?
After the fight, before the fight to LFA, I talked to me, and say like, hey, you can't lose that fight. You can't lose this opportunity, because if you lose, you forget the idea to go back to the UFC. So I don't know if it's like an alter ego or something like that, but it's not me in the cage right now.
Well, there you go. Whatever works for you. You just got to keep doing it, right?
Nice, yeah, of course.
The fight was really, really close. I had scored it for you. There were people that had scored it for Jussier, as you probably expected. But when the final horn sounded after that great battle, did you feel confident that you had done enough to win the fight?
Of course, always. I have like 2 or 3 years like an analyst in Spanish for UFC.
Yeah. So
I tried to learn too much about the rules for MMA. The rules for MMA are really clear. Who are more effective in the fight? Who makes more pain and more damage of your opponent? I connect the best punches in the fight. He went to the doctor. Formiga went to the doctor after the fight, really with a lot of bruises in his face. And actually, this one was just a headbutt, but he never connect my face. So, for me, it was really clear.
How's the eye feel right now? I mean, it looks kind of nasty, but I'm not a fighter. You probably get those all the time. But how does it feel right now?
Very normal, very normal. I mean, are swelling a little bit, but actually, it's much better right now. I can see really, really good right now.
Since you've come back to the UFC and you've introduced us to this alter ego of yours, you had that great fight with Askar Askarov that many people thought you won, and it was scored a draw. And then you had the 2 wins over Kai Kara France and now Jussier Formiga. I went on Twitter on Saturday night after your win, and I said, I believe your next fight should be for the belt no matter what. It seems like the UFC is interested in rebooking the Benavidez Figueiredo fight, but who knows what happens at this point. Do you feel like your next fight should be for the title? Are you willing to wait for that?
Man, it's hard for me to talk about, for example, Joe Benavidez, because I love Joe. He's more than a friend. He's really a huge part of my development of mixed martial arts. I live in his house. He helped me a lot in the fight against Ryan Benoit and Dustin Ortiz. I trained with him before. He was my coach in the Ultimate Fighter. So I love Joe. I want to fight for the title next. So maybe the rematch between Figueiredo and Joseph makes sense, because if Figueiredo wins again, I mean, Figueiredo, I don't care. I want to fight against him. I don't like his attitude, so I want to fight with him. And if Joe wins, he has the belt. He has the belt, and I need to fight against him. But I know if he win or I win, it still be a really good friends. So, but yes, I want to fight for the title. I think it's the correct thing in my next fight. I don't want nothing more than the title.
So it's title or bust for you. Or if
Exactly.
something else comes up, what about a Pantoja fight? I know you guys have a little bit of history. Would you take that fight?
Exactly. Man, of course, I wanna fight with him. I know I can beat this guy, but my last fights against him doesn't want in the correct moment. The first one was in the Ultimate Fighter. It's a tough competition because you need to be prepared for some guy in like 3 or 4 days, and sometimes you don't make the correct moves in the fight. And I lost, and that's it, no? And the second one, the first one, I needed to fight against Ray Borg, but they canceled the fight. And for example, Ray Borg is an amazing grappler, really good wrestling, really good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and UFC changed all my game plan to a guy who is a striker, real tough opponent. So I know I can beat this guy. But I need to fight pretty smart right now, no? It's part of this new Brandon Moreno. This new Brandon Moreno is more smart, makes correct moves in the game plan, and I think it's the fight for the title next. And when I have the title, I can fight against Askarov and Pantoja at the same time is necessary.
125 was always fun, and I felt like it was super underrated when they started releasing all you guys, and now that they brought a lot of you guys back and they're starting to build the division a little bit more, I mean, you cannot go wrong with a flyweight fight right now. How exciting is this to be a part of it? And at the same time, it's only going to get better. So this is perfect timing, right?
Exactly. I want to be the champion for me, it's the most exciting division in the UFC. A lot of speed, a lot of skills. The guys are really technical. Always has cardio, never get tired. And I think after the problem with the company with Dana White, the fights are amazing. I'm really excited, explosive, and that's it. I think the flyweight division is more than alive right now.
At this point, we talked about it earlier. The next few cards, the next few events, they're canceled. They're off the table. April 18th is the next one. That's still sort of up in the air. Who knows how long, COVID-19, the coronavirus is going to affect things moving forward. What are these next few weeks, maybe months, going to look like for you? How are you handling everything?
Man, I'll be trying to take care of my family. Stay in my home. The moment is hard, not just for me, it's for all the world, for UFC, for the other massive events. So we need to take care of our family, keep calm, be smart, stay together, and for me, stay in my house, get a little rest, take care of my injuries, and wait for the correct moment to say, hey, I need to fight. I don't know when this moment go of the country, this pandemic, the coronavirus. So we need to take care of us and be smart and keep calm. And that's it.
Yeah. And try not to eat too much food. That's my problem. I'm stuck in the house with my son. He just wants to eat food all the time. So,
it's crazy. It's a crazy moment, Stay just in your house. Don't think bad. Don't think in bad things. Don't
Just have fun.
So get fun with the family. Play some video games, maybe.
There you go.
Eat just a little, and that's it.
I saw prior to your fight at UFC 245, you met Mark Coleman at the UFC PI. He's one of the pioneers of the sport. What was that like for you meeting a legend like that and getting to shoot the breeze and hang out with Mark Coleman and chat with him for a little while?
Man, Mark Coleman is a warrior. I mean, I love the hammer fist for him. So it's for me, it's a warrior because before the guys put more heart in the fights, you know. Now it's like a more smart fights, you know. The guys try to take care of his bodies, of himself, but before the guys throw punches and just try to make damage on the face of the other guy. And that's why I love legends like Mark Coleman. Really, really, really good warriors.
Do you go back and watch those old fights sometimes to get a little bit of a motivational boost?
Yeah. Just to learn, no? Just to learn about the history of the MMA. Again, I'm an analyst for UFC in Spanish. So just to learn some new moves or old moves and stay focused in my career, like analyst too, you know. You never know after this career, like a professional athlete, I need to make something to take care of my family.
What's your favorite fight of all time? Like you being from an analyst perspective, even from a fighter's perspective, what's the fight you go back and watch? Like if someone came up to you and said, Brandon, I'm new to the sport. Tell me what fight to watch to get me even more fired up for it. What fight are you telling them to watch?
For me, one of the most interesting fights is Jose Aldo against Chad Mendes too.
Oh, yeah.
Not just for the heart, a lot of heart between them, but a lot of technique, good takedown defense, good exchange, was amazing, you know, and a lot of more fights. Another one, maybe John Jones against Alexander Gustafsson once, right now part of the Hall of Fame. So a lot of really good fights.
Where do you put Zhang Wei Li and Ioane and Jacek after their fight?
Oh, man. Man, wow, it's a hard question. Maybe top 15. Top 15 is easily.
Top 15?
Easily. Top 15. Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald too is amazing. Diego Sanchez against Jerry Melendez. Wow. A lot of fights.
I know, I can tell, man. Brandon Moreno joining us on the show, picks up a big win on Saturday at UFC Brasilia, defeating Jussier Formiga via unanimous decision. Brandon, appreciate the time, man. Like I said, you look like $1 million right now. That eye, just normal. Yeah. It's all normal. But
yes, sir.
Before we let you go, let the folks know where they can find you on social media, any shout-outs, anything else you want to get off your chest. The floor is yours.
Man, follow me in Instagram is the Assassin Baby, and I keep post pictures, some histories. So follow me there. Thank you so much for your support to the people, and that's it.
Great chat with you, Brandon. Congratulations once again on the win, and look forward to seeing what's next for you. Keep those hands washed, man.
Yes, sir. You too. You too, brother.
Take care, man. Thank you.
Oh, God.